Now, news making rounds all over social media and all over most social media outlets and major media outlets is all about Joshua Kimmich, and it's confirmed that Barcelona have gone ahead to make Joshua Kimmich as their priority signing of the summer, and that really sends a very shocking message to the sides of Arsenal, Man City, that have been interested into Joshua Kimmich as a player. They wanted to bring in the experience. Very many teams are really looking in for experienced players, but now if you look at a player of a Joshua Kimmich caliber and the amount of money that's going to be put on him, obviously you really have to get him as a bargain, because he's that kind of player, pure professional, he's talented, the experience is really huge. You saw him scoring that header that saw Bayern Munich go to the semi-finals at Allianz Arena as he knocked out Arsenal. He's really very good, and very many people thought that he was going to be skinned by Martinelli, but he went ahead to pocket Martinelli at the Emirates. Even when he came on, when Arsenal is playing at the Allianz Arena at his age of 28 years of age, he really blocked the guy, and the guy couldn't obviously go past him. That's how good this guy is. Welcome to the Football News Show. This is Rokani David. It's the 3rd of May. And good morning, members, and I think you're really having a fantastic stay wherever you are. And here we come with lots of stories that are going to make news all over the world. And in the night that led to today's morning, we saw the side of Chelsea beating Tottenham Hotspur. I went ahead to obviously do a 26-minute match reaction, and now I missed out onto Ange Postecoglou speaking out onto what went ahead to happen in that game of football, but I've gone ahead to obviously bring him into this segment. And Mickey van der Ven, who has been the defender and has gone ahead and really spoken out as to why they've gone ahead to lose to Chelsea in a very horrible manner. How many likes? 200 likes, smashing this video. And let's obviously thank God for the gift of life, because we are alive because of him. That is it, no doubt. And then we really cover everyone in the precious blood of Jesus Christ, and we thank God for the gift of life. So for the gift of life, because Allah and God protect us, and they give us the life that we really go in for. Let's continue to subscribe. We are left with just 60 subscribers from hitting 21,000 subscribers. And guys, with the marathon of videos that we're going to be having today, can we really hit that magic number and see how things really go on? All right, let's start it off with a story coming in through from Mundo Deportivo. Mundo Deportivo is one of the biggest media outlets coming in through from Spain, and they've broken the story that Xavi and Deco have agreed that this summer FC Barcelona's priority is to sign a top defensive midfielder. The club's priority is to sign Joshua Kimmich. Xavi likes Kimmich and likes Kimmich the most, and he had already spoken to him multiple times last year. So towards the end of 2022 in the World Cup, when they were in Qatar, Xavi happened to obviously get some audience with Joshua Kimmich, and when he got audience with Joshua Kimmich, he managed to convince him to obviously come through and join the side of Barcelona. But because Barcelona had some financial restrictions, or implications, and they couldn't go in for this guy, because last season, if they wanted to go in for this guy, he had 2 years left on his contract. Bayern was selling him expensively. He was just 27 years of age, and they needed between 60 to 80 million euros for this player, because he was tied on a two-year contract. But he has gone ahead to give Barcelona a green light that, please, you can as well come in for me, because he hasn't gone ahead to obviously sign in or renew or extend his contract. That is Joshua Kimmich for you. And it looks like he has been convinced by Xavi and is going to be playing for the club of Barcelona. So that's how huge this is really happening. And Kimmich is the technical staff's favorite transfer target for the pivot position. The club believes the Germany's physical and technical experience will help the club. Obviously, if you're looking in for an experienced central midfielder to play in the single pivot, that is the defensive midfield, Joshua Kimmich serves the purpose because of his experience, and him as a player, he wants to be played as a CDM. That is it. And Barcelona have gone ahead to promise all that to him because they feel like they want to move on players like Frankie de Jong and very many others out of the team to see to it that they really do this to happen. But I love Joshua Kimmich. He's a very talented player, and whichever team takes him, they will have going to take in gold because Joshua Kimmich is really a very good guy. Now, a side coming in through from Bayern Munich, known as Christian Falk, have told us that Barcelona want Joshua Kimmich this summer, especially after Xavi's decision to stay at the club. The Spaniard is a big fan of Joshua Kimmich, that is known. In Barcelona, there is optimism he would be financially able to make a move. If the player wants to leave, then he would be a serious option for Barcelona. Now, it is in the hands of Joshua Kimmich because for Barcelona, they are working to move on to players like Frankie de Jong, and they want between 60 to 70 million euros for Frankie de Jong. And if at all any team really wants to get in Frankie de Jong, he'll be available. And there is a very huge story that I'm going to obviously land on today that I'm still really assessing onto how Bayern Munich also want Frankie de Jong. So it might be a swap, and Bayern adds on some more money to Barcelona to see to it that this deal comes to materialization. So there is a lot that's going to be happening this summer, and it's really going to be a busy one. You know why? Players are going to be playing at the Euros, and it's going to be hard for them to really get these deals done. And for those teams that really want to get these deals done before these players go to the Euros, they have to make sure that they really get these deals done before the start of the Euros, such that a player can come in through, do the medicals, sign the deal, and get back to the Euros and play. But some teams wouldn't want to risk, because what if you sign a player, he goes to the Euros and he gets injured? Some teams might have to wait to see to it that everything really gets done and dusted. But it depends on the competition, because the higher the competition on a player, the quicker you are supposed to obviously sign him. For example, Joshua Kimmich, Arsenal is interested in Joshua Kimmich, Man City is interested in Joshua Kimmich, and Barcelona is interested in Joshua Kimmich. So, as you wait for him to accomplish the Euros, because when you look at Germany, they are the hosts, with Nagelsmann putting this team together and building in some good chemistry, you might find out that this side of Barcelona, the side of Germany will play until the semi-finals or the finals, because they're going to be playing at home. You get? So that might keep Joshua Kimmich in until, I think, the 14th of July. I think that's when the Euros really come to an end. So you can't really tell Man City that they're going to do the same. Why? Man City and Arsenal can't do that and really wait, because this player is not an injury-prone player. His record of injuries is not bad, so they might risk that. And the amount of money that is expected to obviously be paid out for Joshua Kimmich is between 30 to 35 million euros, because his contract runs down in the summer of next year, that is 2025. So they have to sell him now, or else they lose him out on a free. And remember, he is the assistant captain when Manuel Neuer is not really leading or not available onto the field of play. So every team that's going to be taking in Joshua Kimmich is taking in a leader, a winner, and a talented player who knows what this game of football is all about. If at all you know that this guy or this boy was playing for Bayern Munich when he was like, I think, 16 years of age, it shows you that he has been competing at higher levels for the last 11 years, right? For the last 11 years, even when Pep Guardiola was here, Joshua Kimmich was playing for Bayern Munich, and it shows you that he is the right player that any team could move in for because of the experience, because Barcelona now need experience. If you talk about the young stars, they have them. Kubasi, Balde, Pedri, Gavi, Yamal, Victor Rokani, he's really young. And there is this other guy that really led the line and scored the winner for them. So they have like 7-8 young stars into that team that can really do the job, but they need experience alongside them. And what Joshua Kimmich gets you is the winning mentality, leadership, and the respect that is going to be commanding that dressing room of Barcelona, because he's a Champions League winner You never know what's going to happen at the Euros. He's one of those that is going to need to be playing at a consistent level for a very, very long time. And Barcelona would have gone ahead to get themselves a very fantastic player that really takes them to the sky. But we wait and see how the likes of Man City and the likes of Arsenal will react, because if they really put in a shift, it changes the dimension. It changes the dimension, and you never know. They might confuse Joshua Kimmich to come in through and join them, depending on what they really put on the table. And the salary is really going to be important. If a team like Man City or Arsenal comes in with a huge salary than Barcelona, because Barcelona is really having problems with the financial fair play, they find themselves really doomed, because a player left with 1 year on his contract, you get him on a cheap, and he'll tell you, you are getting me on the cheap, but remember, if you were to get me when my contract is like 2 years, it would have gone ahead to be very expensive, right? So, it being very expensive, right? He tells you, how much have you gone ahead to really save? He tells you, you've gone ahead to save close to 30 million euros now. I want a salary that at least is more than that. You would have gone ahead to get me when you bought me at 2 years. If you're getting me like a 200,000 euros, get me 300 euros per week. That's what I want. So it's really going to be a very huge debate on who can really win this battle. But I know it's really going to be one of the hottest deals that is going to really make headlines in the summer. All else, he'll sign a new deal with the side of Barcelona. That is also possible because he loves this side of Barcelona. Sign a deal with Bayern Munich, depending on what manager is really going to come in through. So that is it for Joshua Kimmich. And let's go to the manager of Spurs and what he said after they went ahead to lose to Chelsea last night, when they really looked very, very bad. He said, it's on me. I've got to take the responsibility for that. Ultimately, I'm the one who is putting them out there and preparing them. We certainly didn't play anywhere near the levels we needed to be. We did not have the mindset I expected. That's on me. We were so far off it. Come on, mates. What do you want for me? What do you want? For me to write you a dossier on where it went wrong? We were very poor. That's how he has gone ahead, obviously, summarize his performance for Tottenham Hotspur against the side of Chelsea. They really had a very disgusting display, very agitating. And if you are a Tottenham Hotspur fan, you ask yourself, why has it reached the most important time of the season for Spurs to even compete for the Champions League positions? Because if Spurs won today, they would have gone ahead to go. Spurs would have gone ahead to go to 63 points. If they won today, Spurs would have gone ahead to go to 63 points. Right? Aston Villa is having 67 points, and they have a game in hand. So, if they had won the 2 games they have in hand, because Aston Villa had played 2 more games than Tottenham Hotspur, they would have gone ahead to go to 66 points, just 1 point behind Aston Villa, and it would have gone ahead to be just a matter of time to keep along and really see what the result really gets to be. But I tell you what, they are really having the worst side of their final bend of the season. They're imploding game in, game out. The last 3 games, they haven't gone ahead to win any game. They lost to Newcastle by how many goals? They lost to Newcastle by 4-0, lost to Arsenal 3-2, and they've gone ahead to lose to Chelsea by 2-0. And they're playing Liverpool over the weekend. They have to travel all the way to Anfield. So that is where it really gets worse for the side of Tottenham Hotspur. But if you really want a manager to overturn it, it should be Ange Postecoglou. And what the worrying bit is that he doesn't have very many injuries, but he is really looking bad. I know for the Arsenal fans, all they are praying for is simple. Let them lose to Liverpool. After losing to Liverpool, maybe the time they return back home playing against Man City, they'll have a better game plan to obviously win against Man City, because they won't want to go 5 games in a row making losses as Tottenham Hotspur. So after that, Mickey van der Ven, one of the defenders that I think has going to have a very wonderful debut season in the Premier League, has said it's a difficult situation right now. We have lost 2 big games in a row. It's important to keep our heads up now, because if we put our head down, it's not gonna be a good end of the season. That's what Mickey van der Ven has gonna hate to say in there. So guys, I call upon for your reactions into the comment section below. What do you make about Mickey van der Ven's reaction to the loss of Chelsea and Ange Postecoglou, plus Joshua Kimmich, Barcelona's priority target of the summer transfer window of this year? Good morning. May the living to God bless you abundantly. For the Muslims, Juma Karim, right? I had even forgotten that it's a Friday. It's a Friday. It's a Juma Karim for the Muslims. And we are out. Rokani David remains my name. Continue to subscribe. Don't forget to do the needful. Bye-bye.